Okay, this is a little demo to show you how to use this online virtual lab from virtualbiologylab.org. And this is the Industrial Melanism Lab. There's lots of things you can do with this. We're going to start with what's expected in the simple kind of lab that's being assigned. We're going to focus on the allele frequencies and survival rate of moths. So you notice here you have two graphs. You have the dark allele frequency and the relative survival of the two different morphs of the light and dark peppered moth. If you look on the background here, this is meant to represent the light-colored bark of the trees in 1830, and you can see one dark moth and several light moths. They're really hard to see because they are camouflaged really well, which is the whole point. Notice how your forage timer should be set at 5 seconds. You want to keep that consistent the entire time. And then you're going to look at the year, and you're just going to hit the go button. When you hit the go button, you get a little bird and you can click on the moths to hunt them. So obviously it's easier to see the dark ones. And then I can look here, my 5 seconds were up. I hunted, I think, 4 moths. So the survival of dark was 0.4 and of light 0.93. So 40% of the dark survived and 93% of the light survived that little hunting for 5 seconds. And my allele frequency changed. So if it's a year you need to record the data, then record these numbers and make sure you record them before you go to the next year because they will disappear. They'll show up on the graph, but it's really hard to read the numbers off the graph. So record the data here before you move on. Okay, then the next year, 1832, you're gonna hit go again, and you're gonna hunt again. Let's get some moths here. So try not to focus, think on purpose about which moth you're going to get. Just try to just pick which ones you're going to get as quick as you can. You only have 5 seconds, get as many moths as you can, and try to overthink about if you're getting dark or light. Just hunt as if you were the bird. Be the bird. Okay, and again, write down your allele frequencies and survival rate if required. And you can see my graph is starting to grow here. I have my 2 lines, my light species and my dark, my light and dark morphs, and I have the frequency of the dark allele changing. So next year, 1834, go, hunting, there's one. It's really hard to see the light ones. Okay, so I only got 2 that whole time. And then again, I can write down my data if I need to, and I can go the next one. Okay, and more dark ones showed up. They're a lot easier to see. And I keep going. When I'm all done with this, and you need to go, depending on what year the teacher sets you, up to 2010, you can skip to 1950, but it's not a good idea to get really clear data, but you should look at how this works. You can always skip to 1950, and you can see the change. In 1950, things got really dark because the pollution was so bad for so long. And then as time goes on, it will start to lighten back up again because it was in 1950 they started making the rules about pollution, and that reduced the air pollution. So you see it's getting lighter already. 1956, 6 years after, and it's already getting lighter. Remember this background, it represents the trees and the tree bark. Notice by skipping a whole bunch all the way to 1950, I don't have very good data here, right? So it's not ideal if you're doing a full investigation, but it's a good way if you're kind of just looking for patterns to skip to 1950. When you're done, you can click here the little bar, and you can actually download the graph, each chart. As PNG or JPEG are the ones I do, you can also do it as a PDF, and you just click it to download, and it'll should download into your documents. And you open it up. There's my graph. But because I skipped, it's not very much data, it's not a very good graph. Okay. If you're choosing to do some extensions and look into other ways, you can change the timer. You can change the frequencies. You can always reset, go back to the beginning, back to 1830, and you can change different things. The initial allele frequencies of the phenotypes and see how that affects it. Actually, you can't change those yet. So you can mess with different things, kind of see how that's going to affect it. Maybe you can purposely try to only look for certain things, all those kinds of things. Hope this is helpful for you guys in your analysis of this simulation and your use for it, and that you were able to still get some learning out of how gene pools are affected and how species traits are affected by evolution and by specifically connections to the environment.